Alright all, and welcome back to a new video, and it's the highly anticipated preview for Irish 2000 Guineas Day at the Curragh tomorrow on Friday. To have a little small recap over today's racing at Gowran, I knew it was going to be difficult. A lot of the picks I put up, yes, they were the ones I did fancy, but it was always going to be a tricky day to come out of the day with three places, three placed horses, all at kind of 8-9 to 1 wasn't the worst. With Ming Warrior running well, Gorman Strain run well, and Tommy Taylor all ran well. So you can't dispute that. Unfortunately, that was just always going to be the way. If we'd had any winners, it would have been an absolute bonus at Gowran today. But the Curragh tomorrow, really good racing in store. We've got a few plays, and I'll be taking you through the 8-race card here quickly as per the usual. Starting off with the 5 furlong Colts and Geldings maiden at 4:05, and I think for the first time I'm actually going to side with Aidan O'Brien's horse, Merchant's Key here. He's son of No Nay Never. He's currently around 6-4, 11-8 on a lot of boards. He's a speedily bred colt, and the main reason, because I've actually been taking on all these O'Brien horses with Jesse's horses, so eggs are eggs. Jesse's colt will win tomorrow. But on pedigree, Jesse's horse wants a little further in time. As for this horse, it could be a very precocious horse. Aidan's 2-year-olds have been... Well, Aidan in general has been flying, but his 2-year-olds have hit the ground running really well. He's had a very good colt winning at Navan on Wednesday, and he had a very good filly winning at Naas on Monday. So this hopefully is a very good horse, and he could be one to watch out in time to come as a horse that potentially could take high rank in the 5-6 furlong division. But we'll have to see how he goes tomorrow. But he's around 11-8, 6-4, and I'll be siding with Merchant's Key. The 4:40 is a mile 2 furlong maiden for Colts and Geldings, and again one near the top of the market here is a horse called Lough Cutea. If you've watched a fair few of these videos, you know I put him up at Naas back in March time, where he came third behind Russian Emperor. Now, when you look at his 2 runs, he came second as a 2-year-old to 10-year ticket. That form's been boosted. 10-year ticket won the Guineas trial at Leopardstown on Tuesday, and he came third to Russian Emperor, who really should have won the Derrenstown. I don't know, you can say what you want about the ride, but he's a very good horse and could take high rank over a mile 4 this year. So he's been mixing it with some of the good horses. He's the son of Oasis Dream out of a Sharmadal mare. So this step up to a mile 2 furlongs looks to be the right sort of option. As I say, he's around the 3-1 mark at the moment. I think he's a good horse. He definitely will be winning a maiden soon. A Curragh maiden on Guineas Day is tricky to win, but I think this Ger Lyons horse could do the business. Ger and Colin Keane have steadily been coming to the boil this week, including a few more winners today, and hopefully this horse can go and collect. The 5:10 is a 6 furlong handicap. It's a very tough race. There's 3 or 4 of these handicaps which are going to be very difficult. At least the only thing you can say is they're going to be probably 4 or 5 place races with many bookmakers. So if bookies are giving out 5-6 places, do take them. In the 5:10, I do like the look of Dark Vader here. He's 10-1. With Boyle Sports, mostly an 8 or 9-1 shot at the moment with most bookmakers. Joseph O'Brien trains him. Dylan Brown McMonigal rides him, taking £7 off his mark at 92. So this Dark Angel colt is actually running off a mark at 85 in effect. Now, we know him a bit because I was talking about You're So Beautiful running at Navan on Wednesday, and she ran this colt close at Dundalk over the winter, and You're So Beautiful won very nicely at Navan. So that form took a boost. He himself was running earlier this week at Leopardstown. He ran in the 10-year ticket race and came 4th over 7 furlongs when forcing the pace. Looked like he didn't quite get home that day. I think he's probably... He could be a listed horse in time, and therefore a mark of 85 in effect could actually be quite lenient for him. I think he's still got a bit of improvement to come, and one of these handicaps is within his grasp. So Dark Vader at around the 8 or 10-1 mark. The 540 is the Anglesey Lodge handicap over 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds. I'm taking a bit of a speculative chance here on Hieroglyphic for Mick Halford and Ronan Whelan, around 14 to 1 or 12 to 1 in some bookmakers. This Exceeding Excel filly has ran 3 times at Dundalk over the winter time, finishing twice second in 2 maidens before getting the job done third time of asking. That's given her a mark of 78. When you went through Mick Halford's stable tour on Sporting Life, he really liked this filly, thought she'd strengthened up a lot from her last run, and hopefully will be seen to decent effect at around this 7 furlong trip, with a mile probably being within grasp soon enough down the line. This is a competitive handicap. There's a few good O'Brien horses in this, but she is running off 78. She's near the bottom of the weights, and I think she's a progressive horse, and it wouldn't surprise me if she ran a nice race. The 6:10, which is a mile 2 furlong Gallinule Stakes for Group 3 horses, and I am siding here with Crossfire Hurricane for Joseph O'Brien. He's 4 to 1 or 9 to 2, depending on your bookmakers. A son of Kitten's Joy, who we all know more for siring both Roaring Lion and now Kamiko. And the two things that you'd probably say about those two horses is probably their optimum trip is going to end up being a mile 2 furlongs. This Crossfire Hurricane, this will be his first step up to a mile 2 furlongs. He's 3 from 3 on the track. He won a Limerick Maiden over 7 furlongs before winning 2 races at Dundalk this year. He won a rated race before winning the listed Reserve Patent Stakes over a mile. He's stepping up to a mile 2 now, but as I say, based on breeding, that should be fine. I still think he's a horse that's growing up. Even last time out when he won the listed races, he was hanging right a little bit. So a right-handed track should suit in essence, and hopefully this horse can run very well. I think he's the improver of this lot. I don't think it's a vintage Gallinule either, and this horse could be the one. The 640 is the Irish 2000 Guineas, and I suspect the race that you're probably watching this video for. I've got 2 selections for this race, as I've been with for quite a while. Near enough the top of the market is Armory. He's around 7 to 2 at the moment. He's a little short, but I still think he's not bad at 7 to 2. He won the Tyros Stakes and he won the Futurity Stakes last year. So 2 very good profile Group 2s that Aidan O'Brien usually lets one of his better horses run in. And then when he got to Group 1 level, he was second to Pinatubo in the National Stakes and third to Victor Ludorum, which has also been franked since. And then obviously was second in a 2-runner race to Alson, but the ground would have been completely against him that day. On this slightly nicer ground, I'd certainly have him with a massive chance. Wayne Lorden is in the saddle. Shamie Effernan rides Lope Fernandez. I can't have this horse at all. I'll be prepared to, be proved wrong with both him and Siskin, but both of them look like they have stamina doubts to me, and therefore I'd be taking them on. This horse, I think, will stay. I think he's got a bit of a class angle, and I'd take him over the other O'Brien horses. Vatican City just ran, it's just won a Dundalk Maiden, there's not much to that, and he's a pretty short price for it. One, though, I will give you at an each-way price is Free Solo. He's around 20 to 1, so he's a nice each-way price for Jesse, Shane Foley and the Niarchos family. He's only run twice before. He was third in a maiden behind Year of the Tiger, the ill-fated Year of the Tiger, unfortunately, before winning a maiden at Leopardstown in the middle of the summer, that I was fortunately at, and fortunately I backed him as well. That form will be tested actually earlier in the card, because Cabot Hills came second and he's making his debut for Donnacha O'Brien in the Mile 2 maiden. And Cormorant was fourth, beaten around 9 lengths that day, and he's obviously won the Derrenstown since. He should improve for this run, but he is potentially a progressive horse. I think he'll be a group horse in time, but I'm not sure whether the Guineas might come that one step too soon. But I think it's worth maybe a couple of quid each way at 20 to 1. The 7:15 is the Lincolnshire, an absolute dog's race really from a betting perspective. It's not a dog's race quality-wise. Obviously, some very good horses in this. And I've taken each-way price at Bowerman, who's Ado McGuinness's seemingly second string. Ronan Whelan takes the ride. He's 10 to 1. He's off a mark of 97 here, but he's coming in the form of his life. He's a 6-year-old, so therefore he doesn't probably have the scope for improvement like some of these do. But as I say, he's in the form of his life. He won 2 rated races at Dundalk over the winter period before finishing second in a listed race over Cancer Mare, where Pierre-Charles Boudot rode him. Hopefully he can run his race. I think he's in fantastic nick at the moment, and if he can run to what he's been running in all winter, I think he hits the frame. 10 to 1's not a bad each way price. And the 745 is the Mile 2 Mooresbridge Stakes for Group 2. It's Group 2 race. And again, I'll take one at an each way price here in Numerian, who's 8 to 1. A gelded son of Holy Roman Emperor out of a High Chaparral mare, who really found his own when landing the Devoy Stakes earlier this season at Naas, when beating Sir Dragonet, which is not a bad scalp to get. A lot of opposition in this race, I think, will either need the run or need a lot further. You look at Search for a Song, Latrobe, all of these horses need further and potentially will need the run. I think he's a solid option. He's obviously not the best horse in the race overall, but I think he could run into a place because he's got the fitness on his side and he's not a bad horse, and also he has handicap form at the course, so you know he'll do well around the Curragh. Anyway, that's it for the 8 race card tomorrow for the Irish 2000 Guineas. Please do let me know what you guys fancy for the Guineas itself and for the rest of the card, whether you have anything for the Gallinule or the Mooresbridge or the Lincolnshire. Do let me know down below. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And I will see you tomorrow night for a bit of a review on the 2000 Guineas and the 1000 Guineas preview. And until then, best of luck. Hope you land a few, and I'll see you then.